Thanks, Catherine. The annual Ruck for Them 5K March is happening this Saturday. I'm joined now by Mike, one of the event organizers for the event, to tell us all about this special event and the meaning behind it. Mike, it raises awareness for veteran suicide. What is the event?
It's a 5K. We call it a ruck, but really it's a walk through the village of Waverly. We begin at the Waverly Glen Park and end there. And the concept behind it, the idea behind it, was we lose 22 veterans and military members a day to suicide, and we wanted to find a creative way to raise awareness about that, as well as recognize the families in our county who have lost their loved ones to suicide. So it's a great event. It's designed to provide information as well. We'll have different organizations there that are veteran-centric in their approach to suicide prevention and intervention, providing information and support for those who are looking to get more information on what's going on.
Yeah, you mentioned 22 lives every day lost by veterans to suicide, and you're asking some guests if they are able to bring a backpack or a bag with them to carry 22 pounds of load for the march. What does that signify?
It's a symbolic gesture that we want to represent the 22 a day that we lose. So the 22 pounds represents the 22 that we will lose that day that we have the event across this nation. Our veterans suffer from many different things. We teach our men and women how to go to war. We don't teach them how to come home. And unfortunately, that transition from the military life into the civilian world can be very stressful for them, especially in that first year when they're out. It's known as the deadly gap, when they're most susceptible to all of the changes and the stressors of life can pile in on them, and there's an increased risk threefold of suicide becoming a reality. In addition to that, we want to address the mental health challenges they face. Everything we do at the Tioga County Veterans Service Office has suicide prevention and intervention at its core. If we don't address those issues that affect their quality of life, that can relieve some of those stressors in life, then really everything else doesn't matter till we've addressed those things. So making sure that our men and women know while they're in and as they're getting out, we run a program called Onward Ops. It helps transitioning service members come back home and help them readjust with anything that they may need into the civilian realm and get adjusted to that new life. And then unfortunately we're still losing folks. And we're hoping that one day that 22 will become none.
That is the hope, and this event is bringing hope, hopefully, to some. Do veterans come out? What have people said about this?
Yes, it started out small, obviously, the first year that we did it, but each year it's grown. And this year I think we're going to have the most ever that have ever attended the event. And not only is it about them coming out and supporting the families and the veterans and the military members that need our support, but it's about raising awareness on the issue. And at the same time, is a way to thank them for coming out and doing this. We have music. We have a local band that plays for us throughout the day, and then we also feed them. I'm a firm believer that if I attach food to everything, if I feed them, they will come. They come for the food, but they stay for the information.
Yeah, and you're roasting a big pig.
Yeah, we're having a pig roast, yes.
Yeah, so this is a massive community event. It's been 5 years so far? What have you learned?
It was one of those things that, 6 years ago, tragically, we lost a friend in our community. His name was Captain Timothy Neal. He was a friend. His father was a friend of mine. And it really brought home the reality of veteran suicide. Even though we communicated on a regular basis, there was just things that war within that they fight that's invisible. It's easy to have empathy for someone who has visible wounds of war that they come home with. We can see it, we can relate to it. But many of our military members and our veterans, they suffer from that invisible war that they fight within themselves, that they don't think anybody else knows about or understands or can relate to. And they tend to be siloed, and they stay isolated away from the community. And part of what we want to do, not only with this event, but all the things that we do is get those veterans out of their silo, get their families and them connected back into the community, and get back some of that camaraderie they had when they served, so that they understand that I can't walk your journey for you, but I can walk it with you.
Yeah.
I don't offer handouts, I offer handouts. Absolutely.
Yeah, Mike, thank you so much for coming in and highlighting this.
Thanks for
important
having
event.
us, and we appreciate your help getting the word out.
Yeah, thank you. All right, a lot more to come here on WENY.